2 friends, 15 meals each. So 30 meals, my first order. They posted it on social media. Hey, I want to get your meal prep. I want to get your meal prep, blah, blah, blah. It was like a domino effect. First order was 30 meals. And then a few months later, we were up to like 1,000 meals a week. Absolutely insane. And we only cooked on Sunday. So I would get all the orders on Friday. I would do all the shopping on Saturday. And then Sunday, we start early morning at 6 a.m., cook all the foods, and then we'd deliver it after we were done. And I had friends helping me. I had family helping me. And this was all in my mom's kitchen. Absolutely insane.
Well, I love the San Gabriel Valley.
Welcome to the My SGV podcast.
So I grew up here and I still live in Alhambra.
I was raised in between Temple City and Alhambra.
Eventually resided in South San Gabriel.
Our mission is to capture and share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley.
Monterey Park has pretty much been my whole life.
Well, I'm proud to say that I was born and raised in the San Gabriel Valley.
We believe our diversity is what makes the SGV great. And no matter where you are from in the San Gabriel Valley, you will feel welcome. All right, SGVers, welcome back to another episode of the My SGV podcast. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, we share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for spending this time with us. We do appreciate it. Well, Brian, take 2. For the listener, this is their first intro, but I didn't hit the record button, and we were maybe like 18 minutes or so into the show, and so now we got to start over. But
hey, it's okay. It happens.
I get to hear the stories again, and maybe we'll get something different from that. So we initially started about the horror of meal prepping, and I remember in my kitchen, like I was like looking at it, took up all my counter space, all the table, and I was like, this is not that fun anymore.
It gets tough. It gets really tough for sure.
Yeah. But at that time when I was cooking for my clients, I was like, yes, this is, I know what they're eating. I'm happy that they're going to actually like see some progress in that area. So I forget how long that lasted. I think maybe half a year at most.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I had one client after that.
Okay. Yeah. If it's really hard to sustain if you don't have help. That's for sure.
Well, before we get into your story, thank you to Paris Baguette for sponsoring the delicious pastries every week for our guests. Go check them out in the city of San Gabriel. Say hi to Jason for us. Imagine transforming personal challenges into a thriving mission that impacts an entire community. After experiencing significant weight gain during his corporate career, this individual turned Muay Thai and nutrition research, leading to an 80-pound weight loss. His passion for health inspired him to create nutritious Asian fusion meal plans, initially for friends and family. This endeavor blossomed into B Nutritious, a meal prep and delivery service dedicated to making healthy eating accessible across Southern California. Please welcome Brian Nguyen, founder of B Nutritious. Brian, welcome to the show again.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So meal prepping is part of what you do, but you also have a brick and mortar. There people can come there and eat as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a pretty cool concept. It's not just meal prep. Even though that's initially what I started off as. It's actually a quick service restaurant. You can go in, dine in, take out. We do catering, delivery, but you can also get your meal prep. And with a lot of meal prep services, you kind of have to order a few days in advance to get your meal prep. For us, you can literally go in, order over the counter, and if we can crank it out after the lunch, or if we can crank it out in 30 minutes, you have it in 30 minutes. So it's people like the convenience of that. So it's worked out in our favor.
Oh yes, that solves the problem. So all the other meal plans that used to come by the gym, they're like, oh, we give 12 meals, but I was like, yeah, but they're all cooked at one time,
Yeah. Yeah. So they do have. Okay. So if they get a meal plan, they do have to get all of it at once, but they can come in and get 1 meal or 2 meals or 3 meals. It's just when they get a bigger package, it's at a cheaper rate. But it works in our favor. We have many meal plans that fit, different clientele.
Yeah. I remember I have, 2-time, 3-time, 4-time a week clients, so I can deliver, on Monday or Tuesday or whatever day of the week. Yeah. That really takes me back. I'm going off Restaurant Depot and buying those containers.
I still go sometimes. I still go sometimes. I actually hate going to Restaurant Depot. I avoid it at all costs. But there's certain products they have that I need to go. but for the most part, everything gets delivered. I just go when I need to go.
When I finally stopped doing meal prep, that client only had one client, and they were paying for I think 4 meals, and they were $25 a meal.
That's crazy. Hey, you know what? You must have cooked a really good premium product for $25.
It was a charcoal grilled ribeye. Every meal was charcoal grilled ribeye.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I mean, I eat mostly charcoal grilled ribeye.
Wow. You know, I ribeye tastes so good, but I usually lean towards like the leaner cuts. You know, I like I can't eat filet mignon every meal, but I love filet mignon, and then tenderloin, and then top sirloin is kind of not too fat, but filet mignon, number one for me. Yeah.
Well, if you know the cut of the ribeye, so this client preferred the leaner cuts also. I was like, perfect, dude. I'll just buy the ribeye. I'll cut the cap off. I'll eat the cap, and you can have this, right? And I was that works.
Yeah, perfect. 2 for 1.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, this shows the My SGV podcast. So what's your connection to the San Gabriel Valley?
So I actually grew up in the city of El Monte, and the people are going to correct me. It's El Monte. People from El Monte will say it that way.
Yeah.
Or the Monteros is what they call it. But I grew up, went to preschool, middle school, high school, all in the city of El Monte.
Okay. And I asked you, I sort of know the answer to this question now, but there was a really impactful person in your life growing up. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So during my childhood, my parents weren't too involved as far as like extracurricular activities go, whether it's school events or sports or anything outside of, being at home. They were busy, making a life for us and trying to pay the bills and so forth. But my neighbor, she was actually really involved in my sister and I's childhood. She got us involved in BMX, in football, just things that normal kids should be doing as a kid. And, it's not my parents' fault. They didn't have the, it's just a different generation. And it's different styles of parenting. But I don't blame them at all. They still gave my sister and I a great life. But my neighbor, Tressa, if you're listening to this, thank you for the childhood you gave me. She got me involved with BMX and took us to all these events at Whittier Narrows, at Ontario Mills, all over the place, just to do BMX. And she took me to football practice. She went to my football games, and she was just very involved in our childhood. And, that set me up for success moving forward in my life. And, she made a positive impact on my life for sure.
Was she married?
She was not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was not married. One thing, it shows her heart. It was absolutely amazing. She had exchange students that she brought in from different countries every year.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was kind of cool. Being her neighbor, I would meet all these exchange students every year, whether they're there was one from China, there was one from Germany, Yugoslavia, Switzerland, every year, just different exchange students, Korea. And I remember I became good friends with a lot of them that we still kind of keep in touch on Facebook. And, we're all grown up now. And I was the kid. I was in 5th grade. Well, 5th grade is like, 10 years old? And they were 16, 17. So now you see them on Facebook. It's kind of crazy to see, they got families now, and it's cool.
Wow. Yeah. What an impactful person she was.
Absolutely.
For you.
Absolutely.
I guess she didn't have kids of her own then.
No, she never did. I don't know why. I don't ask. But she's just a great person overall.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so she got you involved into BMX and football, and those are things that maybe you never would have come across had it not been for her.
Definitely never would have done it. Yeah.
And for those who don't know, BMX, like, not just like riding your bike around the block on your BMX.
No. Yeah. You have to have a helmet on. You have to have a uniform on. And you're actually participating in a race against other kids your age. Yeah. I think it was age group. Yeah, for sure it was age group. We do races every weekend. It was really fun.
I first learned about this from a guest, Armando, and his dream was to race in those as a kid, right? And I was like, where is this? I've never heard of this. So it's at Whittier Narrows, and there's an actual track for BMX.
Yep. Yeah, it's at the borderline of South Omani, Rosemead, that area.
Wow,
Yeah.
awesome. And then you said your parents actually got to see you do this once.
Yes. They took us to an event, a big event, and it was in, I think, the city of Lemoore. And they participated, and it was really funny. It was really cool for them to be there and actually see us. I still remember this one like it was yesterday. We're cheering on for my sister, right? She's gonna get mad at me for telling this story, but in BMX there's like ledges or turns, right? That you go up a ledge and you kind of turn. And there was 3 in her class, right? And the 2 girls were in front of her, and they're battling it out, and they fell, and then she was able to get ahead, and she got first place. But to this day, I still make fun of her. You only got first place because these 2 girls in front of you fell.
That's sad.
I have a really good relationship with my sister, so we just go back and forth, and it's a sibling thing, But it was I still remember that day like it was yesterday. It's so funny.
I mean, you have to finish, right, to win. So, kudos to her. And how did you do?
You know what? I don't remember.
Well, you would have remembered if it was first place, though.
Yeah. I definitely didn't get first place.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Those I only see them on shows or TV, but to know it's like right here in our backyard, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. There's a lot in the San Gabriel Valley, and whatever you want to get your foot in, whether it's swimming, BMX, whatever it is, it's everywhere here. So.
And then you went to Arroyo High School.
Yes.
And what was that like for you?
I liked high school. I had a good experience. I didn't have any bullies or anything. It was a good experience. I played football all 4 years. And everything, all the relationships, I still see some of the football players that I keep in touch with on social media. And it was just overall a great experience for me in high school.
And what did you play on what position?
I was a defensive end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know football.
Okay. I was on the line. So,
shoot.
I was on the line. Yeah. Playing defense.
I say that because you don't look like you have the size.
Yeah, I know. And high school was a lot bigger.
Okay.
So high school was a little more stocky. I was solid in high school actually.
Okay.
Now I do a lot more running. So I've slimmed down a lot. But yeah, in high school, I played defensive end. My freshman year, I started on my freshman year. I started off my sophomore year, and then junior year, I had a senior ahead of me, so I wasn't a starter. And then my senior year, I was able to start. So, but we did really well in football. We had a good reputation. I remember my junior year, we went like 12-1, so we lost in the semifinals. But football was like a big part of my identity in high school, for sure.
And what kind of student were you?
I would average, I think I graduated with a 3.2, and it was, high school was easy for me because, I cheated, I shouldn't be saying this, but I cheated my way through high school. But it wasn't, reality really hit when I went to college because, obviously the consequences are bigger if you get caught in high school cheating, or in college cheating. And in college, I really worked hard for every grade I had, and I earned all of it. So, and in college, I did pretty well. I still graduated with a B average, I would say 3.2, but to go from not really studying in high school to, busting my butt in college, I was proud of myself for that.
Wait, so nobody knew that you were cheating?
Oh, no.
Your sister, your parents for sure know.
I absolutely did not know. Yeah, I show them a grade, cool, no problem, And I was actually very lucky to be blessed with parents that weren't the traditional Asian parents. They wanted me to get good grades, but they weren't the type to really discipline us if we got bad grades. I never really got bad grades, but some parents are like, you better get straight A's. My parents were never like that. They're just kind of like, if you pass all your classes, it's okay. And I remember my dad trying to be strict, but I was like, Dad, you're not. It's not you. Just kind of just brush them off on it. But they're great parents.
Wow. Okay. And then so you went on to college, and at that time, did you know what you wanted to do?
No, I went to college because it was the thing to do. And if I could go back, honestly, I probably wouldn't have went to college because I don't remember anything I learned in college. And it was all textbook stuff.
Sure.
And you don't really get experience until you hop into the real world. And I'm not against college. I think it's great if you're, getting into a certain trade and you need to learn certain things for it. Like if you want to be a nurse, you have to go learn to be a nurse or a doctor or whatever. But for what I'm doing now, definitely could get into it without an education.
Yeah. I was training a high school athlete once, and she was accepted to Princeton. So she was going to play at Princeton, right? And I remember she broke down at a session once, and she's like, all my knowledge is all theoretical. She's like, I don't have any practical knowledge.
Yeah.
And she was like crying. She's like, I can't wash dishes. I can't do my laundry, all these things. And she was coming to this realization, right? Yeah. And I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Not that you couldn't do those things, but just that like you had been pushed so much in this direction, but like your practical knowledge is, not there at all.
Yeah.
Right.
And what's crazy is that like being in the restaurant space, I have kids that I hire, anywhere between 16 to 20 years old. And I can usually tell if they've been given chores or anything like that when they take a broom. And I've taught countless amount of kids how to sweep on their job. And it's mind blowing because a lot of these kids don't know how to do these things, just basic stuff, cleaning, wiping the floor, mopping the floor. And it's kind of cool. I've been able to teach them these, real world, things that you should know, that your parents didn't teach you. Washing dishes, is a simple one. Wiping down tables, sweeping, mopping. Those are basic skills that you definitely should know. And I feel like I've been blessed with the opportunity to teach these kids how to set them up for the future. Just even simple things like that.
So in college, you sort of didn't know, well, you wouldn't have done it. So I'm guessing you didn't really enjoy it that much.
College, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. It was actually really hard for me in college because all I did was study. I really didn't have a life in college from what I remember. I just went to school, went to class, studied, ate, go home. Simple. No social life, no nothing. That's probably why I didn't really enjoy college or like college. I didn't participate in any of the, any of the social gatherings or the frat parties or anything like that.
Was that by choice?
Yeah, probably. I think I was never invited to these parties, so that's probably why. But I was just so busy with school also. Yeah.
And what was life like for you during that time?
Commute to school, go to class, go home, study, eat, go to bed, repeat. Yeah.
And there was a moment where you realized your body had changed a little bit.
Yeah. You don't realize you're overweight until someone actually tells you. And I remember being in college. This is my 4th year in college, so I'm on my last year. And I remember sitting in my car, putting on a seatbelt, and I had a hard time breathing, just putting on my seatbelt. And I remember my boob just hanging over my seatbelt. I'm like, dude, kind of not healthy. I don't feel the best. And that wasn't the turning point, though, to motivate me to get into my journey. It was going to a July 4th party, and my uncle's wife was like, the first thing she said was, damn, you got boobs bigger than mine. And that really hurt my feelings. Like it genuinely hurt my feelings. I almost wanted to cry. This is a 21-year-old, about to cry, because you hurt my feelings. Obviously I didn't cry, but that lit a switch in me to really get into my weight loss journey. So after that, I went on the internet, looked for ways to healthier eating, and that's when I kind of fell into the guy I told you about earlier, Mike Chang, and his I think the program was called 6-Pack Abs. Pretty much taught you how to eat, how to work out, and if you follow that guideline, you're going to lose weight. And naturally, I followed the eating. I started running, and then I got into Muay Thai, and that's putting all those three together. In 1 year, I was able to shed off almost about 80 pounds.
And why did you seek out Muay Thai?
To lose weight was number one. And during that time, I think the UFC was kind of like getting very popular too. And I was like, oh, I want to learn how to fight, And I ended up signing up this gym in Pasadena. I'll tell you a little funny story. Muay Thai, like a lot of MMA gyms or Muay Thai gyms or just martial arts, it's kind of intimidating to go in, because like it took me a lot of courage to actually walk in there to sign up for a class because I was so intimidated, But it was this gym called Sityatong in Pasadena. They used to be in Pasadena, now they're in Monrovia. But I still go there. Shout out to Walter Michalowski. He was my coach. It took me a lot. I think I passed by there so many times. I parked in the front, and I was just contemplating, should I go in to sign up? And I finally did it after a few tries, and I signed up, and it was the best decision I ever made, was signing up for Muay Thai, because that weight just shut off so fast.
Wow. Is it because of the intense training? Intense
training, the cardio, everything about it. And I remember a lot of the times there's no AC in those gyms, so the doors are closed, and it's like literally like a sauna. And it was just, it was amazing. Those days were just, I remember it. I loved it though. It felt like you were in Thailand.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you shed the weight, but did you learn how to fight?
Yes. I was able to do a fight in 2012. And it was more like a bucket list item, like, oh, I want to be able to, obviously feel how it is to actually get into an actual fight. So I did do a fight, and I ended up losing by a point, but it was a really good learning experience. And I feel like everybody should experience that type of adrenaline once in their life. It doesn't have to be through fighting, but just something like that, because you really get to learn a lot about yourself.
How long from when you decided to enter a fight was it?
1 year.
A year out.
Yeah, 1 year. Yeah.
So you had a year to think about it.
Well, I didn't plan to fight either. It was just, at that gym before, they used to have every Thursday nights. It was like hard sparring. It was practically a fight. They'll turn off all the lights, and they'll just put the ring lights onto the ring. And the coach would choose two guys, and pretty much, all right, you look good. All right, you guys are you go 3 rounds.
Is it weight class or no?
They kind of. It's because you're sparring,
okay.
So the weight class can vary. But there was the coach just kind of picks out. All right, you're tries to choose the level kind of the same. But I remember the first time I did it. The first time I did the hard sparring, the guy actually knocked me out. Yeah, and it's on video. I have it on YouTube. And there's a good amount of views on that video too, because it's called First Time Hard Sparring or something. And the guy threw a knee right into my center, my core, and I just went down. And it's on video, so I'll link it to you when I get a chance. But it was a crazy experience. But I don't know why I didn't stop doing it after. I was like, this is kind of cool, and I just kind of stuck with it. And eventually, the coach saw me working hard, and he was like, "Hey, you want to fight?" I was like, "Heck yeah, let's do it." And then that rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was really cool.
Did I ask you when we first spoke, Brian Chow from Sityatong?
It sounds so familiar.
Because I heard that was part of his SGV3.
Okay.
Yeah, Brian, he works at Asian Youth Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
He sounds so familiar.
Yeah.
He might be the newer generation.
Maybe.
Yeah, he might be newer. I started with Sityatong in 2011. So it's been
a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
But he mentioned Walter also.
Okay. Yeah, Walter, he'd be a great guest to have on the podcast. He's very connected with the community too.
Awesome. So you checked that off your bucket list.
Yep.
And you were well into your weight loss journey, right? And at that time, what was the direction of your life? Like, what were you pursuing in addition to your weight loss?
So, I was still in my 20s, so I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But right out of college, I was able to get an internship at an insurance firm, and I stuck with it for about a year after college. And then I figured out, I learned that I didn't like to work for someone, or I'm just not built that way. So I ended up going into insurance sales with another firm, but it was literally 1099. So what you make is what you make. You work, sales are on you. And I ended up going with an insurance firm, another broker firm that I worked independently for myself. I just had to pay a commission on whatever I sell. But I like that freedom better because I was able to determine my own schedule, and whatever I close, it's on me. And if I don't make any money, that's also on me. And I feel like I work better that way. But I stuck with that for 4 or 5 years, and then I got into meal prepping. And while I was doing insurance, this is all this was happening during my weight loss journey also. So fast forward, the weight was off. I started meal prepping for a few friends, and this is while doing insurance. And I started with an order with 2 friends and 15 meals each. They posted it on
a week?
15 meals, yeah, just each for the week.
So
Yeah.
you already learned meal prepping from Mike Chen?
Yes, I learned meal prepping from getting into like bodybuilding.
Oh,
so
okay.
after Muay Thai, I got into bodybuilding, and I did a few like men's physique shows, and I learned about nutrition, learning what diets can do to get you to a certain level of how lean you can get and so forth. But this was starting the meal prep business was after I was done with my bodybuilding era, and I started with the 2 friends, 15 meals each, so 30 meals my first order. They posted it on social media, and this was in 2014. That was like when engagement and everything was crazy on social media. So they posted on social media and linked my Instagram and my email. There was no DMs back in the day, or I don't think there was DMs back in 2014. So they posted it, and I got flooded with emails. Hey, I want to get your meal prep. I want to get your meal prep. Blah blah blah, and it just was like a domino effect. First order was 30 meals, and then a few months later, we were up to like 1,000 meals a week, and it was absolutely insane. And we only cooked on Sunday, so I bought all the food. I would get all the orders on Friday. I would do all the shopping on Saturday, and then Sunday we start early morning at 6 a.m. cook all the foods, and then we'd deliver it after we were done.
What?
Yeah, it was absolutely. I had friends helping me. I had family helping me. And this was all in my mom's kitchen. And we actually, so when my mom built her house, or remodeled her house, she put a kitchen in the back, like closer to the garage area, like outside kind of. It was indoors, but it was towards the back. And I don't know if you know, but a lot of Asian households, they don't like to cook all the oily foods inside of the house. They have a separate kitchen for that, at least my parents. So all the cooking was done outside. And all the small stuff was done inside of my parents' kitchen. But I look back at it now, it's like we had 3 in the actual kitchen cooking. My mom was part of it, my aunt was part of it, and then we had another lady that was helping us. And inside the house was all packing the foods. And I had friends, families. I have pictures of it too, and it was just absolutely insane when I look back at pictures and just think about all the progress we've made over the years.
Wow, I can't wait to get into this because that's pretty crazy. I would imagine that these friends also saw your body transform, because that's like, I see that. I'm like, oh yeah, tell me, give me what you're eating, right?
And I capitalized on that. Like I was like, I knew having this transformation, it would earn that level of trust. Like, hey, this guy, like I want to know what he's eating. And I was able to promote that, and that helped me in my favor. And it really brought in a lot of sales promoting my transformation.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we get into that story, we ask each guest to bring an item of significance. What did you bring with you today?
So today I actually brought our house hot sauce.
Awesome.
Yep. And this actually helped me get started on my journey with my weight loss also. I found out this recipe. Someone posted on social media a long time. I don't remember, but I was like, I'm going to try it. And then it cause it's calorie friendly, first of all. And it's mustard base. There's stevia. So we cut down on the sugar content. There's sriracha, and there's mixed chilies. You mix it all, and it's a calorie friendly hot sauce that you can enjoy with like literally anything. A lot of our customers, when they come, they will not eat our food without the sauce. So when we sell out, they get they get pretty pissed. But yeah, I brought a few bottles for you guys to try, and the staff, and it's really good on anything, honestly.
Awesome. And are you selling this?
Yes, we're selling at the store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we sell this at the store. I think the future goal is to actually professionally package these. We still put the sauce in-house. We put the sticker on it in-house also. But I think down the line, when we start expanding more locations, we're going to have to get these, properly done for all our franchises.
I see. Awesome. And can you, without sharing all the ingredients, like what else is in there? So it's mustard based.
Mustard based. Yeah. So it's just mustard.
Does it taste like mustard?
Not too bad. Like you can barely taste it.
I mean, I like mustard.
Yeah. People that don't like mustard that have this, they're like, oh, I can't even taste it. Like it's so good.
Okay.
So it and the first assumption people have is that they think it's mayo based, but once we tell them it's not mayo, they're like, oh, they're all about it, because mayo's good, but it's just the content.
Seed oils.
Yeah, a lot of the fat content's just higher. So
and I don't like stevia as an aftertaste. Do you get that?
No. Yeah, I've tested this product. I mean, it took me a year. I've tried this product. So I've had it for 10 years, put it that way.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 10 years, same recipe, nothing's changed. People love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah. These are all yours.
So you're saying on almost anything, right? Like you can have hot sauce on.
Hot sauce, yeah. Chicken, salmon, whatever you want to put it on. It's really good.
I'll probably use it on like eggs or breakfast stuff.
Perfect. Yep. My wife, so I always make her a salmon at the store, and that's her go-to is our salmon. And she will not eat the salmon without the sauce. Yeah.
And what's the heat level?
Sriracha spicy.
Oh, so
Yeah.
for me, it's not that spicy.
Yeah, it's not that spicy. I can eat this all day. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, Brian, I want to get into that story of when going from 2 friends to thousands of meals in a week. But let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay.
Sometimes, even the best of us can slip up. That's why the law offices of Scott Wormuth are here to pick you back up again.
And while they strive to get you the biggest compensation possible, oh my gosh!
Their main concern is your health and recovery. They work closely with doctors and insurance companies to make sure you get the proper medical treatment.
Initial consultations are free, so give them a call.
At the law offices of Scott Wormuth, we're with you all the way.
I'm Scott Wormuth. We've been fighting for your rights for more than 40 years.
All right, we're back with Brian. Brian, before the break, you were talking about the hot sauce, and I love hot sauce. I can't wait to try it. Thank you for bringing that in. When we come back from the break, we like to ask questions from this deck of cards called Icebreakers, and it's just a fun way for the audience to get to know us, and I'll be answering as well. So here we go. Brian, if you could pick up a skill instantly, what would it be?
Gosh, I wish.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. Woodworking. Actually, I don't know, because the journey is all about the journey, right? So I don't know that I want to just pick that up instantly. That's pretty hard. I'll just say I still want the journey, but I would love to have that skill.
Yeah.
How to make joinery and chisel, hand tools, that whole world of woodworking. I really like a lot.
Yeah. Now that you've talked about that, I think being an electrician.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a lot of that's such a great trait to have. I feel like I'm sure I can learn to be one, but if you were to give me a skill overnight, I would do that, because I mean I have friends who are electricians, and they're very, very smart, and they're very successful in that field.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you don't know what is needed until you actually have to hire one.
I know they are so expensive when certain things,
Yeah, for sure. Well, if you're watching or listening, let us know if you could pick up a skill instantly. What would that be? I'm excited to hear this story. So you took advantage of the transformation that you went, right? And you were sort of intentional about that. And I say take advantage because not as a bad thing, but you sort of were looking ahead, right? And did you approach these 2 friends? Or did they just come to you and say, I want some of that? I
approached them.
Okay.
So when I do things, it's very just sudden, right? And I kind of just like, hey, I'm going to start a meal prep business. I came with a logo. This is the menu. You want to place an order? He's like, yeah, I'll get you. I'll support you, And it was for him and his girlfriend. So 15 meals each. And they tried the food, they liked it, and I was pretty much, hey, do you think I have something going? And he was like, yeah, the food's really good.
What was it? What were those meals?
Very simple: chicken, rice, and broccoli. And then we have ground turkey and tilapia. Just very simple stuff, And I just use light seasonings. And I know seed oils are looked upon, but back then, we were kind of in the bodybuilding space. So it was we were using Pam to have less calories on the fat content. But I used Pam to cook all the foods, keep the calories low, and they really liked it. I didn't use any salt. I just used low sodium seasonings and things like that. But it was just, they liked just simple, clean foods, and that was kind of the market I was in for a little bit, for a while. And then, if you look at it, fast forward now, it's like a whole different menu. We have to cater to the average Joe just trying to eat healthy, and we have a menu for someone who's really watching what they eat. So, yeah, we cater to a lot.
And so you said your friends posted it online, and then you had this explosion of orders, emails.
Yeah.
Oh man! And so were you the only one responding to all this?
I was the only one responding to it. Yeah. I set up a Gmail. They sent emails. I will send them the menu, and then let them know they have to place an order by Friday to get a delivery by Sunday. And they'll just email me. It's literally like, okay, let me have 3 of this, 2 of this, yada yada, and then I will make it and deliver it.
Man, just the admin on that alone is crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was a lot of work, but it was money coming in. I had no complaint. It was nice. It was really nice.
Were you still doing insurance at the same time?
At the same time, yep. So the moment I decided to walk away from insurance was when I was doing better with meal prep than I was in insurance.
Were you enjoying it?
I absolutely was. I felt like I had something big going on. And I was like, you know what? To really grow in my career and be legit, I have to have a brick and mortar, like an actual location for people to take me serious. Because people were, we had pickups also, but they were like going to my mom's house to pick up the food. It just doesn't look that good, And I was like, so I have to be legit, find a location. And I decided to do that. Everything I have in insurance, all the money I had saved, all the money I was making, I was like, you know what? It's time to get an actual location. So I started looking for locations, and what better place to do it than the city that you grew up in? So I found this location in El Monte, and it was a Mexican restaurant, and it was in bad shape. It was really bad, but I purchased everything in there, an asset sale for $40,000. And I took over, and then I remodeled it for about $50,000. So $90,000 all in, I was ready to go. And if like a lot of restaurants, when they start off, it takes a while to build that clientele because people don't know you're there. It takes a while. I did it reverse. I had a good amount of clientele already. So when I did open, I was able to just transfer all the meal prep clients into the restaurant. So with the meal prep side of it, I was like, oh, this pays all the bills easily on one day out of the week. So the dine-in and the takeout aspect of it was a bonus, right? I didn't really focus too much on that because I've never been in a restaurant. I never ran a restaurant. I know nothing about it. I was Googling things on how to sanitize, and it was a whole new experience to me. But once the dine-in and takeout part started taking off, it was just like everything just worked together beautifully. And it was such a crazy learning experience because I remember some lady yelling at me because I made a mistake on her order. I gave out her order to the wrong person, and this is like the first week we opened, and I didn't expect it to be so busy, where we had a bunch of meal prep orders that were due at 12 o'clock, and then we had our lunch rush coming in. It was just a nightmare. And but after that, I adjusted, and I learned from my mistakes from that. But her yelling at me in front of everybody, like, it was really bad because I turned so red and I almost wanted to cry. Like I've never. Just from making a mistake on the order. She was pissed. She was she was waiting to in her defense, she waited for like 30 minutes, and I gave her order to another person.
Oh man!
So to make her food, it would have had to wait another 15 minutes. And we weren't able to handle it. And she yelled at me in front of everybody. And I turned red, so red. And I was like, I'm sorry. This is like our first week open. I'm still, this is still a soft opening. We haven't had our grand opening yet. And she just walked away. I gave her a refund and she walked away. And she probably never went back after that. But,
oh man.
Yeah. But, it's okay. If that would have never happened, I would have never made the adjustments that I needed to make for the restaurant.
So you refer to it as a restaurant. So it's not just a place where you're operating and cooking the meal prep meals now. You're also offering restaurant experience.
Exactly. You have it's a really cool concept. You go in there, you can either dine in or you can do a takeout. You can order online, phone, whatever it is, or in person, and everything's made fresh. And we're not only it's not just food. You can get, protein bars, protein chips. There's a lot of snacks that we have, and we even have supplements, pre-workout, protein, BCAAs, all that. So it's like a one-stop shop. If you're like a fitness person or you're trying to lose weight, we're the perfect place to get you started.
Is that what your clientele mainly is? Like people, health conscious, fitness people?
Yes and no. We try to cater to everyone. The average Joe just trying to eat healthy, they don't really care about their calories, but they just want to eat better overall. We get a lot of those too, like, or busy professionals. They'll come in there for lunch. Nurses, doctors, police officers, firemen, like during lunchtime, they're always there. So it fits that clientele also. But the people that are like really into fitness and bodybuilding, all that, it's a very small percentage. So a lot of our menu is very catered to just a person trying to get started on their health journey or just want to eat healthy overall.
Those fitness people are probably doing their own meal preps.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I want to know about the menu, especially the Asian inspired stuff. But before that, I remember this is how I did it. I was like, you're just going to eat what I make and I'm just going to make more of it. And that's it. You don't get a choice.
Hey, that's the best way. It's the easiest way to have it, right?
Yeah, it was. Like I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to give you a choice. Like you're just going to trust that. Like this is how I eat. I'm going to make exactly what I eat, but you're just going to get some.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I was like, is this going to fly? And then they liked it. So I mean, but at that time, now I eat mostly animal based. I would say 90% animal based. Back then. I was still, a lot of rice, some noodles, not a whole lot. Definitely, I didn't eat a whole bunch of bread, but it was much different.
That's kind of how my diet is right now. It's just mainly whole foods, and then if I'm craving a sweet, I'll do like a protein bar or something, But it's majority of it, it's meat. I eat a lot of rice though, like a lot. Rice, chicken, and veggies, steak, salmon. My diet's really simple, and then on the weekends we'll splurge, but that's it. Yeah.
So talk about the Asian influences in your meal preps.
Yeah, so our menu is really cool. We have our build your meal, which is very simple. The basic person that wants to do is really watching their calories, dialing down what they want to eat. But we have our house favorites, and the house favorites menu is Asian fusion inspired. And a lot of the items that are on there were actually from my childhood. One of the most popular ones that sells a lot is our pineapple fried rice, and that's actually inspired by a restaurant that used to be in El Monte. It was a Malaysian restaurant. It was off of Peck Road, and they had a pineapple fried rice. And I remember going there as a kid, and my dad would always buy it for me. And when I was starting the restaurant, I was like, dude, I gotta think about something that is items that I'm familiar with that I can make it healthier. And the pineapple fried rice was one of them, and that one till this day is one of our top sellers. And I can, thank that little Malaysian restaurant and thank my dad for getting me, letting me try that when I was growing up as a kid. So that brings me back a lot of memories. And then we have our peanut chicken bowl, which is, it's like Thai style inspired. You ever had the chicken with you dip in the peanut sauce?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that, but we toss the sauce with the chicken, and that's like a super hot item. But pretty much everything it's on our menu, it's very simple, like kung pao chicken or house noodles. It's all childhood food that I had growing up, just in a healthier form.
Oh, so you can get those menu items as meal prep?
As meal prep or just to eat right away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely didn't offer those things as a meal prep.
Yeah. And I didn't always offer those things. It was only until we got into the restaurant. So prior to that, we had a very simple menu, which is protein, vegetables, and carbs, and it's basic stuff. Once I opened the brick and mortar, that was when I started adding these things to the menu.
Wow. And you have multiple locations.
Yes. So we have 2 locations right now, one in El Monte and then one in Fountain Valley in Orange County. I actually sold the one in El Monte as a franchise, and the owner of it right now, he took over this year in 2025, and this kid is killing it. He's 26, motivated. He actually worked for me for 8 years at my Orange County location before he bought this location. So he is now the new franchisee of this location, and he is killing it. And I'm very happy for him, very stoked for him. And he's a good person to have a part of the brand, because he's truly someone who believes in their brand. And that's, I took a step back. The big reason why I ended up selling that location was because I wanted to expand in franchising. And, it's been a journey for us to expand. We were actually able to get a location in Boston, Massachusetts. They lasted for about a year until construction really screwed them. It took them a year. It took them a year and a half to open, and 5 months into construction, they started paying rent. And rent was like 10 grand a month. So before they even opened, they were over 100 grand in debt before opening the location. So wow. It was very unfortunate, but I got a taste of success and expanding into a different area. And, so I took 2024, I took a step back from franchising, but this year, with a new person in El Monte, Lewis, it's looking good for us. So we're focusing on franchising again this year, because both our locations are doing really well. And we're looking to expand this year.
When you say franchise, do you mean to sell it to other owners, or just to?
Yeah, so I want to like this. Let's just say you want to open one location in, I don't know, Glendora or something. We would charge you a franchise fee, and then we'll help you open up a store, help you find a realtor to find a location, pretty much walk you through A through Z, and then offer ongoing support for as long as you're in business.
Where are some areas that you think it would do well in?
So right now we have a lead in San Clemente. And,
far.
Yeah, it's far, but it's an hour from the Fountain Valley location, so it's not too far. But there's one lead there. I think it would do well there because there's no healthy food. We did our research on the area. There's really not too many restaurants around that area. But usually a concept like ours, if you keep it in like a business center or close to a gym, it'll do well. Just if it succeeded in El Monte, I think it can succeed anywhere, because that location it's like a B-rated location on the street. You have to know about it to go there, because not a lot of people are going to pass through that street. It's not on a main street or anything. And we've been able to build that through social media, through Yelp, through Google reviews over the years, and it's really paid off.
Awesome. And speaking of gyms, you had a connection to our previous guest, Eric.
Yep.
How do you know Eric?
Yeah. So Eric, actually, I think he invited me to one of his CrossFit events that he did maybe like 10 years ago when I was first starting off. And I think we were handing out samples. It's been so long. But since then, I've kept in touch with him. And, sometimes I even went to his church a couple times. And he's a cool guy, really cool guy, very driven, very, he's a motivating person to be around, inspiring person to be around.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Well, just a few questions about your business here, Brian. Can you share a transformative success story from B Nutritious client that stands out to you?
Yeah, there's one customer. Her name is Cassandra, and she started with us when she was like really heavy. And I didn't realize how much weight she was losing until she actually, because they come so often, you don't see the weight come off. But she was consistently coming in for like 4 or 5 years, like even more than that maybe. But over the years, she started eating our food every week, same thing every week. And then the weight just kept coming off. She's like, hey, Brian, I want to thank you for helping me transform my life, me and my sister. And just this is how I used to look. And then it's like, holy crap, you don't realize how much weight they've shed off until they show you an actual photo. And I actually have a photo of her at our store showing her transformation, and it's night and day.
Yeah, I imagine that must feel really good.
Really good. We, to transform. That's why I believe in the brand so much and our product that we offer, because we're actually making a difference in people's lives. We're not, serving oily pizza and wings or things like that. It's food that's actually good for you. And I know you mentioned earlier about like seed oils. We actually switched to avocado oil, and we don't even use a whole lot. It's just kind of to wet the grill so that the meat doesn't stick on the grill. But you know, we're genuinely just trying to be a good company offering good product that's good for you.
And Brian, what's a misconception people often have about meal prepping or eating healthy?
So just because meal prep comes in a black box does not mean it's healthy. Okay, because over the 10 years of being in the business, I see a lot of meal prep companies come and go. And if your meal prep tastes too good to be true, it probably isn't that good for you. You know, I'm being honest. I've done my R&D. I've tried different meal preps. And I would say always ask for the nutrition label or ask for the nutrition facts before consuming, because not all meal prep is good for you. And just because it's in a black box does not mean it's healthy.
What are some of the unhealthy things that you've seen?
Items that are loaded with oil. And when you eat your food, you should feel good about it after. You shouldn't feel heavy or greasy or you know, like you ate something very heavy. When you eat our items, it's you eat it, you feel good after. And that's the main thing, is feeling good after you eat a certain item, right? If I go eat pizza and wings, I'm going to feel not so good after. But when our food, like I can stand by and I hold my word to it. Every item that we offer on our menu, when you eat our food, you're going to feel good after.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I want to come by and try it. I'm not often out that way.
Yeah.
So it'll be a special trip, but
maybe one of these days I can sponsor a show and just bring you guys some lunch.
Well, Brian, we're going to move on to the final segment of the show where we get to learn where you like to eat in the San Gabriel Valley.
Absolutely.
So, Brian, this is what we call the SGV3, and we get to learn your 3 favorite restaurants, eateries, food trucks, stands, wherever in the San Gabriel Valley. So, what would be number 1?
Number 1. All right. So it's now called Eat Bistro, and formerly known as Lido Cafe, Ledo, and it's actually down the street. It's on Garvey and San Gabriel, and that brings a lot of childhood memories, because I actually went there for my junior high graduation, my high school graduation, and my college graduation was celebrated there.
Really?
Yeah, that was just the restaurant my parents always took us to, so it brings back a lot of memories. And you know, they had on Yelp, their ratings probably aren't the best, but their food is great, and it's always service that they complain about. And you know, you when you go to a Hong Kong cafe, you should expect not to get the best service, and they don't have the best service, but their food, I can't complain, and it's always very budget friendly for the amount that you get.
Is it? So you said San Gabriel and Garvey. Is it the southwest corner?
If you go straight down the street, this is San Gabriel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go straight down San Gabriel. It's on the corner where that market, or it used to be called Funland. You know that I don't know if you remember that area, but there's a market down the street in that same plaza where there's an East-West Bank, there's a dim sum. Yeah, it's right across the street from Skechers.
Okay.
Literally across the street. It's on the corner. You can't miss it.
I think I've been there once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the OG. That's the OG cafe, Hong Kong cafe for me, because I saw an episode, some clips, and you guys talked about Hong Kong cafes.
Yeah.
Right. You guys mentioned a bunch of them, but that one's like my go-to. I've been to quite a few Hong Kong cafes, but that one's like the one that it's nostalgia for me. So I go there even till this day. We go all the time. So.
And the original name and the name now?
Yeah. So the original name was Lido Cafe, Ledo. Now it's called Eat Bistro, EAT Bistro.
Awesome.
But their ratings have gotten better on Yelp, because I do check it sometimes. But you know, if you're looking for a budget friendly but good food, and you know, need a quick fix, that's the perfect place. Their lemon iced tea is good, and then chicken steak with filet mignon with red rice. Perfect. Yeah.
Was it like $9.99?
It's like 15, I think.
15.
But yeah, still not bad.
Yeah. Okay, and then what's the second place?
Second place, Green Zone. I'm a healthy eater, so Green Zone's my go-to. My wife and my daughter, that's our go-to place on the weekends usually. And I know you had one of the guests here. I actually listened to part of her podcast. I didn't get to fully finish the episode, but I love her restaurant. I actually talk to her sometimes too when I do go to the restaurant.
Jill.
Yeah. And I love their food. The Hainan chicken's classic. All their sampler, the fried stuff, it's really good too. Yeah, I love that place.
Like, the fried, it's like there's a little shrimp thing, and then,
The little salmon squares, or the salmon triangles. But yeah, Green Zone used to be actually down on Valley Boulevard. And I used to go to the location all the time because when I was doing insurance, we're only 5 minutes away from the store, or 5 minutes from her restaurant. And I did talk to her about it. I was like, oh, why did that location close? But I guess, the landlord tried to jack the rent up like crazy. So she ended up moving to the other place, or opening the second location, just keeping the second location. But I love that food, and I hope they stay there forever. So
yeah, they actually opened a place very briefly in Pasadena.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a more like a little bit more elevated dining experience. Because I had gone to Green Zone all the time, I knew the prices, so like everything was like $1 more in Pasadena. Yeah. But I guess just the
rent's probably crazy over there too.
Yeah.
I mean, like our location in El Monte and Fountain Valley, there's a big price difference because the market's a little different over there. Rent's more expensive over there. Labor's more expensive over there. Everything's just different, so you have to kind of adjust. So I understand why she has to do that.
What's so hard for me about Green Zone is like, it's so hard for me to expand trying things because I really like the Hainan chicken.
Same.
That's hard.
Same. Yeah. Because once you get something that you don't like, it's like, or that's not, reaching your standards, you're, oh man, I shouldn't have ordered that, So I always order the Hainan, and then I'll order everything else to try.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So, and what's the third place?
Have you heard of Banh Mi Mai To? It's like, MYTHO, I think. I think they have a few locations, but the one I go to is on Garvey. It's Banh Mi Mai To, but just $6 or $7 banh mi sandwiches, and they're so good.
On Garvey, in what city?
In Rosemead.
In Rosemead.
Yeah, and they're always packed. They always have a line.
Okay.
But I'm very picky with my sandwiches, and they do a really good job. And I just actually had some this morning. But I definitely recommend going there. What's that paste that they put on? It's like on the
liver pate.
Yeah, so good. I always ask for extra, but they put butter and extra pate or whatever. So good.
So you must get like the original
always
style.
the dak biet or the number one. So.
Oh wow, okay, awesome. Is it one of those places where like it smells of the bread that they're baking there in house?
I would say so. Yeah, I never really paid attention to that. Yeah, but there's always a line, and their bread's always good.
And are they open like at 6 a.m.?
Yes. yes.
What is that? Is that like a Vietnamese thing? Like the people are used to picking them up for
I don't know. You know what's crazy? I'll tell you a story. Quick story. I have a Vietnamese last name, but I'm actually Chinese.
Okay.
So I speak Cantonese. And I listened to Jill's podcast, and she kind of has a similar story. Parents are born in Vietnam, but they're Chinese. So same thing. My ancestors, my mom and my great grandparents, they're all born in Vietnam, but they're Chinese. So at home we speak Cantonese and not Vietnamese. But the only time Vietnamese is heard at home is when they're talking crap about the kids. Yeah, literally. Yeah, so like when the parents have to gossip something about the kids, they'll talk in Vietnamese because we don't understand.
So you don't speak any Vietnamese?
Zero. Yeah, I only speak Cantonese and English.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks for sharing those SJV3. I saw on a reel a banh mi place in Monterey Park.
Okay.
So if you know Garvey and Garfield, it's maybe 2 streets down from Garvey.
Okay.
And they're known for their crispy pork belly banh mi.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh my gosh. And so I went there and they were like, it opens at 6. I went there at 6. And there's like 2 or 3 dudes who are like in their 80s, waiting to get food. And I was like, okay, this place is probably legit, right? And one of the best of that style I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never tried the crispy pork banh mi's before. Oh, that's a must now.
Really good. Yeah. Really, really good. Wow. And they give it to you unassembled so that it stays crispy.
Yeah.
Right. So they give,
I gotta try it. You're making me hungry right now.
Wait, so okay, so you're not Vietnamese, but is that a thing where like you eat a banh mi for breakfast?
We always have. Parents bring it home. As growing up, we just get a banh mi for breakfast.
Wow.
So it's I don't know if they do it in Vietnam or not, but for us, it's always been normal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Brian, I really enjoyed learning about your journey, and I do apologize for earlier, and I appreciate that you can stay here and make this all happen. If people want to get in touch with you, visit your restaurant, or get some meal prep, what's the best way to do that?
Definitely just order online, bnutritiousmeals.com. And if you want to get in touch with me for social media, it's at B Nutritious Meals. And yeah.
Awesome. Brian, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure.
Well, there you go, another episode in the books. That was kind of rocky. I think that was only the second time in our nearly 5 years that I didn't hit the record button. And I'm glad, actually the first time we went through the whole show and and then realized it. So, I'm glad today we were able to make it work. So thank you for spending this time with us. I hope you enjoyed that story from Brian. Just sort of fascinating. I stand by this idea of like, school is great. And I believe in people getting an education, but there is so much more avenues to success. And I'm not just talking about monetary success, but just joy in the things that you love and to learn. And the common vein that you hear in our guest stories is once they pursue their passion, that's where all the success actually lies, right? You hear this time and time again, people finding success and joy in the very same thing. So I hope you got something from this show. I know I did. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. Don't forget to like and share. And if you want to see the full catalog of episodes, check out our website, mysgv.net. And until next week, we'll see you then. Thank you for joining us on the MySGV podcast. Check out more of our content on our website, mysgv.net. This show was produced by Scott Wormuth, directed by Russell Mano, edited by Victoria Allers, and original music by Yone OG. If you'd like to join us next week as we capture and share more stories from our diverse community, feel welcome.
Nice matter. No kind of matter.